When it comes to 90 Day Fiancé celeb Natalie Mordatseva and romance, the red flags are always waving in the breeze. At first, when Natalie met Mike Youngquist through mutual friends, she was very charismatic. However, as their love connection deepened, Natalie couldn't help but show her true colors. Mike and 90 Day Fiancé's Natalie Mordatseva made for some great TV, as both delivered some extremely embarrassing moments for the franchise. It didn't take long until it became noticeable that Mike and Natalie came from two different worlds, and hardly agreed on anything. Not only did the couple have a significant language barrier, but they also didn't see eye to eye on religion, culture, family values, and children. However, despite so many hurdles, the Washington State native fell for Ukrainian-born Natalie very quickly. Mike made numerous trips to visit her, dipping into his savings to finance his travels. Sadly, most visits ended with fights. 90 Day Fiancé's Natalie Mordatseva didn't love Mike. One of the biggest arguments in 90 Day Fiancé history had to do with Mike and Natalie. During one of Mike's last trips to Ukraine, it was clear that Natalie was no longer interested in putting up a front when it came to her feelings. During a brutally honest TLC confessional, Natalie let it slip that it would be a lie for her to say she was in love with Mike. TLC viewers watched Mike jump back on a plane to the United States, and the communication between the two came to a standstill. While Natalie seemed quite determined to end the relationship, Mike was left contemplating his dating status. 90 Day Fiancé's Natalie Mordatseva is religious. Natalie never hid her love of God, as she often spoke about attending church with her mother and reading the Bible. The devout Orthodox Christian had always stated that her faith was everything to her. During a sit-down with Natalie's friends back in 2019, Mike revealed that he believed in aliens. While it is never fun to be grilled by a partner's close friends, Mike was honest, which may have been his downfall. At the time, Mike admitted that he did not believe in a particular religion or God, but rather in a superior civilization. While Natalie was in complete shock, Mike went on to say that he thinks that extraterrestrials are like gods, and that he believes previous societies saw aliens, but misinterpreted them as gods. In a major contradiction to Natalie's belief, Mike shared that he felt the aliens helped to create life, noting that there was no Adam and Eve. Instead of Natalie trying to understand Mike's views, she wanted to convert him, which was a major red flag to followers. 90 Day Fiancé's Natalie Mordatseva is into healthy living. 90 Day Fiancé viewers may recall that Natalie loved everything that had to do with leading a healthy lifestyle. This included no junk food or alcohol, while she made it clear that she wanted Mike to follow in her footsteps and become a vegetarian. She was downright mean to him when he tried to have a steak or beer. TLC cameras would often catch the disapproving look on Natalie's face whenever Mike returned from work and opened the fridge. At one point, during season 5, Natalie challenged Mike to live the veggie life for 1 week, in the hopes of turning him off meat consumption. Mike tried his best to please his fiancée, but nothing worked. One morning, he woke up early to make her French toast, but Natalie scoffed at the meal, deeming it unhealthy. She chose to eat a raw carrot instead. Even though Natalie may have been trying to help Mike become healthier, she made him feel bad about himself and his weight, which is never something a lover should do. Two 90-day fiancés. Natalie Morditsova wanted kids. Natalie never shied away from telling Mike that she expected to have children with him. Mike, on the other hand, had cold feet about the whole idea. He told 90-day fiancé cameras that his immense debt stopped him from wanting to procreate. Their entire time together, Natalie had been pressuring her fiancé to commit to having children together, as she knew her biological clock was ticking. The then 35-year-old didn't understand Mike's reasoning for wanting to hold off, and often called him selfish. After months of pressure, Mike shared during the tell-all that he felt he could support children, which naturally put a smile on Natalie's face. Mike didn't seem completely sold on the idea himself, as he began to sweat after making the surprise announcement. As for Natalie, it seemed as if she was pleased to have finally won the war over potentially breeding. One 90-day fiancé's Natalie threw her engagement ring at Mike. The clear sign that Natalie had issues with her relationship with Mike came when the 90-day fiancé star threw her engagement ring away after the couple fought. After their last major fight in Ukraine, Mike was packing his suitcases to go home, and refused to change his flight. After all, had already paid good money for it. While Mike packed his bags, Natalie became so infuriated with him that she threw her diamond engagement ring into the suitcase. This was an attempt to hurt her fiancé. With one of the greatest comebacks of all time, Mike just said, "Thank you," and kept packing. Even after the return of the ring, the whole 90-day period that Natalie was in the U.S. for was centered around her asking if they were going to get married. She also wanted her ring back. Sadly, even couples therapy didn't help, as it was Mike's turn to reveal that he no longer loved her. Natalie had made sure to throw up some serious red flags, and even though it took a bit of time, the 90-day fiancé star finally took note of them, and walked away.